This is a rehab progression that we did with an offensive lineman from the University of Connecticut who's heading off to the NFL. He suffered a Liz Frank fracture in his foot, and it's extremely debilitating and creates a huge amount of instability in the foot. We started with what we call a warding pattern. And what we're doing with the warding pattern is he's going to take a step with the injured foot with a small amount of weight on it, and he's actually driving his hands into the wall. It creates a reaction where it actually creates strength and engages his shoulders, his abdominal wall, thoracic spine, his hips, and his leg musculature. It actually slowly puts some tension down into the lower leg, which we want in a controlled environment. We then started working on what we call shifting patterns. Offensive linemen are engaged where their hands are engaged in the opponent, and they're having to move something that doesn't want to move. So what we do is we try to replicate that. I'm going to put a bullseye on here and center him. And what we do is we take the Viper and we actually have him shift the weight side to side. And watch how his body compensates and adapts to it. This is what it needs to be able to do on the football field. Here we're using the injured leg as a driver. His core is engaged because of the relationship to gravity and challenges his body. Using the chalk line, there's a huge amount of force and stress being translated when he drives that back leg. Puts a huge amount of stress in the thoracic spine and in those hands, and this does a nice job of replicating what these offensive linemen need to be able to do in game time situations. If you notice here, we had to limit the amount of force and stress we placed through the injured foot, so by elevating that front foot up onto a step, there's less weight on it. So we're able to give him pretty close after surgery some ways of ambulating and moving to feed his body upright without putting stress through the injured area. The progression we added to this is a warding pattern where I actually have the athlete holding a Viper, and I'm actually driving force into the Viper, pushing his body back, very similar to a game situation, which actually takes weight off of that injured foot. Spark Motion Pro was built out of necessity by professionals for professionals. For more information, go to sparkmotion.com.